Photosynthesis is a options simple process carried out in a special plant organs during which inorganic food is synthesized. Process which has no relation with us. Process for synthesis of carbohydrates. Process which produces energy rich inorganic compounds from organic compounds. The correct answer is process for synthesis of carbohydrates because photosynthesis is an intracellular anabolic process. It is a characteristics of green cells of plants in which carbohydrates are synthesized from CO2 and water in presence of light and chlorophyll. In this process, light energy is converted into chemical energy and stored in carbohydrate molecules. While oxygen is liberated. Therefore, the process photosynthesis is a process for synthesis of carbohydrates. How many molecules of water are needed by a green plant to produce one molecule of hexose sugar? Option 6, 12, 24, 1 only. When 6 molecules of CO2 are added with 12 molecules of H2O in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, we get C6H12O6 plus 6CO2 plus 6H2O. Therefore, 12 molecules of water are needed by a green plant to produce one molecule of hexose sugar. In photosynthesis, oxygen is liberated due to options: reduction of carbon dioxide, hydrolysis of carbohydrate, photooxidation, photolysis of water. Answer: Oxygen evolved in photosynthesis comes from photolysis of water. During which water is split into O2 and hydrogen. It is accepted by an unknown hydrogen acceptor. Therefore, the correct option is D, photolysis of water. Photolysis of water was demonstrated by Robert Hill, Calvin, Emerson, Hatch and Slack. Correct option is A, Robert Hill. He experimented that during photolysis of water, water is oxidized in presence of light and chlorophyll. Hydrogen is removed from water and oxygen is released. Thus, the equation can be given as 4H2O in presence of light and chlorophyll gives 2H2O plus 4H plus 4 electron plus O2. It was first indicated by Wien and demonstrated by Robert Hill. Therefore, correct option is Robert Hill. The oxygen evolved in photosynthesis comes from water was confirmed by the use of B18O2. Rubin and Kamen used heavy isotope of oxygen that is 18O2 to confirm that oxygen is evolved during photosynthesis. Therefore, correct answer is B, 18O2. Chloroplast is a semi-autonomous body due to the presence of cDNA because chloroplast can form copies of itself due to the presence of DNA and protein synthesis machinery. Chlorophyll A, B shows maximum absorption in options blue region, red region, blue, violet and red regions, yellow and violet region. Answer. The absorption spectrum of chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B indicate that these pigments mainly absorb blue, violet and red lights. Action spectrum shows that maximum photosynthesis takes place in blue, violet and red regions of spectrum. Therefore, the correct option is C, blue, violet and red regions. Chlorophyll is options soluble in organic solvents, soluble in water, soluble in both organic solvents and water, insoluble in both organic solvents and water. The correct option is A, soluble in organic solvents. Answer. The chlorophylls are readily extracted from green tissues of plants. They are extracted by using organic solvents like acetone and powdered dry leaves, by both acetone and alcohol. Benzene is a good solvent for chlorophyll. Therefore, chlorophyll is soluble in organic solvents. The molecular formula of xanthophyll is C40H56O2. We can give it as xanthophyll is a oxygenative derivative of carotenes. The molecular formula can be given as first for chlorophyll A C55H72O5 N4 Mg. Chlorophyll B C55H70O6 N4 Mg. For carotenes C40H56. Therefore, the correct formula of xanthophylls is, as it is a derivative of carotenes, C40H56O2. Carotenes phycobilins are also known as respiratory pigments, accessory pigments, essential pigments, cyanophycin pigments. The correct answer is B, accessory pigment, because they are useful in harvesting light energy and transferring it to chlorophyll A which is a reaction center. Therefore, carotenes and phycobilins are known as accessory pigments. The head and tail of chlorophyll are made up of dash respectively. Options: porphyrin and aldehyde, pyrrole and furanine, prophyphin and phytol, tetrapyrrole and ribose sugar. Answer is prophyphin and phytol. The head of chlorophyll consists of 4 pyrrole rings. Which are made up of Mg atom in the center. And tail is a lipid derivative. That is a phytol tail. With 20 carbon atoms. Therefore, the correct option is porphyrin and phytol. An essential pigment for photosynthesis in higher plants is chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotenoids, chlorobium, chlorophyll. The correct option is chlorophyll A, because chlorophyll A is the essential pigment in photosynthesis, because only chlorophyll A can utilize the absorbed light energy for the synthesis of chemical energy, that is ATP. Other collect the light energy and transfer it to chlorophyll A. The other pigments convert the light energy and transfer it to chlorophyll A for photosynthesis, and chlorobium chlorophyll is only found in bacteria. Therefore, chlorophyll A is an essential pigment for photosynthesis. How many oxygen atoms are present in chlorophyll B molecule? 3546. The formula is C55 H C55 H70 O6 N4 Mg. This is the formula for chlorophyll B. Therefore, 6 molecules of oxygen. So the correct answer is D6. In the pigment system, one active chlorophyll is options P600, P680, P700, P720. The correct answer is P700 because PS1 shows maximum absorption at 700 nanometer. Cyclic photophosphorylation involves PS1, PS2, both A and B malic acid. Cyclic photophosphorylation is a photochemical reaction. It requires participation of PS1 only. The movement of electrons is cyclic in this photochemical reaction of photosynthesis. Therefore, the correct option is PS1. Dark reaction is named so because options it takes place only at night, it depends upon color of leaf, it does not require direct light, it occurs slowly during light. The correct answer is it does not require direct light because it is a biochemical phase. It is named as dark reaction because it does not require light to carry out its reaction. The scientist who was awarded the Nobel Prize for tracing the path of carbon in C3 plants was B. Calvin. He demonstrated that M. Calvin in 1954 in Berkeley, California, using 14C demonstrated that the pathway of carbon in photosynthesis and traced the C3 cycle. He was awarded with Nobel Prize in 1961. The first stable compound found during the formed during the Calvin cycle is A. 3C compound, 4C compound, 6C compound, 5C compound. Calvin cycle begins with the reaction of atmospheric CO2 with RuBp, which is a 5C compound, to form an unstable compound (6C), which immediately splits into two molecules of PGA 3C. Therefore, the first stable compound formed during the Calvin cycle is a 4C compound. RuBp is a 3C compound, 5C compound, 7C compound, 4C compound. In Calvin cycle, a 5C pentose sugar ribulose biphosphate RuBp acts as the acceptor of CO2. Therefore, the correct option is B, 5C. The 4-carbon compound formed during regeneration phase in C3 cycle is, as glucose is a 6C compound, sedifeptulose is a 7C compound, and xylulose 6C, sedifeptulose is 7C, xylulose is 5C compound. So erythrose is a 4C compound. So the correct answer is erythrose. Which of the following is a C4 plant? Primrose, rose, marigold, maize. Plants like maize, amaranthus, sugarcane, jawar, they are C4 plants. They show characteristics of Cran's anatomy. And the first stable product formed is FOCOAA. Therefore, maize is a correct option. C4 cycle was discovered in sugarcane by Hatch and Slack. It was discovered with the help of a C4 cycle. Cran's anatomy. Cran's type of anatomy is found in C2 plants, C3 plants, C4 plants, CAM plants. The correct answer is C4 plants because they show Cran anatomy in which leaves show dimorphism in anatomical features. Mesophyll cells contain normal chloroplast while chloroplast in bundle sheath cells are larger and they do not contain grana. Therefore, Cran's types of anatomy is found in C4 plants. The first stable product of CAM cycle is oxalic acid, malic acid, oxaloacetic acid, pyruvic acid. In CAM plants, CO2 combines with pepper to form a 4-carbon compound called as oxaloacetic acid. Therefore, the correct answer is C, oxaloacetic acid. In CAM cycle, during formation of malic acid, stomata remains open, closed, semi-open, always closed. Answer. In CAM plants, stomata remains open during night time and oxaloacetic gets reduced to malic acid. Therefore, the correct option is A, open. The diurnal fluctuation in acid concentration is a feature of options CAM plants, C3 plants, C4 plants, none of the above. Answer. In CAM plants, the acid concentration increases during night and decreases during day. Therefore, the correct answer is CAM plants. Effect of water on plants can be observed during closure of stomata, loss of turgidity in leaves and wilting of leaves, increasing in rate of photosynthesis, D, both A and B. Increase in rate of photosynthesis cannot be applied when there is loss of water in plants. So closure of stomata and loss of turgidity in leaves. Because though water is one of the raw material for photosynthesis, it does not affect the rate of photosynthesis directly. So we can see it through closure of stomata and loss of turgidity in leaves and wilting of leaves. Cyclic photophosphorylation, electrons are continuously lost from the reaction center of PS2. Which source is used to replace these electrons? Non-cyclic photophosphorylation is a normal process of photophosphorylation in which the electron expelled by the excited photocenter does not return to it. Non-cyclic photophosphorylation is carried out in collaboration of both for PS1 and PS2. The electron released during photolysis of a water is picked by photocenter of PS2 called P680. The same is excluded out when the photocenter absorbs light energy. Electrons released during the photolysis of water are immediately accepted by oxidized reaction center of PS2 through an unknown substance Z. So the correct option is H2O, because H2O is picked by photocenter of PS1 called as P680. Which of the following statements about dark reactions is correct? Options: they occur in darkness, they are not light dependent, they are dependent upon the product synthesized during light reactions, all of these. The correct option is C. They are dependent upon the product synthesized during light reaction. Why? Answer: biosynthetic phase, that is dark or Blackman's reaction, catalyzes the assimilation of CO2 to carbohydrates. These reactions occur in stroma or matrix of chloroplast and all the enzymes required for the process are present. The enzymes required for this process are present in the stroma or matrix of the chloroplast. These reactions do not require Instead, assimilatory power, that is ATP and NADPH, produced during photochemical phase is used in the fixation and reduction of CO2. However, this should not be constructed to mean that they occur in darkness or they are not light dependent. Therefore, they are dependent upon the products synthesized during the light reactions and not they occur in darkness.